Hey guys, Wade Willis here for Wade's Weeb Reviews. Now, I'm a bit of a My Hero Academia fan. I did watch the series 2 times through this whole stay-at-home craziness, and I was super pumped when I heard that they were coming out with this 2-part OVA series, and I'm going to talk to you guys today about that series. It's called Make It, Do or Die Survival Training, and in this video I'm going to go over like a summary of everything that happened in it, and do a little bit of analysis on it, and then I'm going to tell you about, I'm going to talk to you guys about how I felt about this OVA series. Did I like it? How I feel like it matches up with the show as a whole. And then I'm also going to talk to you guys about when, like, from the leaks that I've seen, when the new season is coming out, season 5. And also I have some other opinions based on some other stuff going on in anime as a whole, why I think it's going to come out when I say it's coming out. And I'll have timestamps for all of that in the description too. So now this Make It, Do or Die Survival Training episode, or OVA 2-part, it's set in season 3, right before the provisional license exam. Now this is super important because and honestly I had totally forgotten how much each character had developed during the 4th season and like towards the end of the 3rd season, because the way they're acting and stuff is way different than how their characters have kind of grown and developed by the end of season 4, and not just what they can do but just how they are as people. So that's something going into this, like, you really needed to put yourself in that mindset, because I was kind of taken aback at first. I'm like, why is this person acting this way? But yeah, that's super important. Now, it starts off, you find out that they're doing this, basically a practice test where they're going to have to save this dummy that's in this abandoned mall, that there was like a earthquake. They had evacuated everyone out, and then there's one person left in, basically, and the class is going to have to go through, find the person and save them. So that's the practice test that they're doing. Now, they get there, and basically they split the class up into two groups, and the group that we're following in this is the group of basically everyone's favorite main characters. You got Bakugo, Kirishima, Kaminari, Ochako, Tsu, Deku, Todoroki, and Tokiyama. Now, as soon as they get there, they're told about what they have to do. Bakugo is still in this, and he's still in this way towards the end of the 4th season, but even more so, because you have to think, this is where he had just gotten saved by students in the class. He feels like All Might lost his powers because of him. So he's not in a great mental state, and he's like, all right, I'm going to go save this person, like, on my own, and I'm going to save him faster than any of you guys, basically, is like his mindset. And he kind of wanders off, and Kirishima, which is his ride or die homie, follows him, and Kaminari also goes with him. Then Momo and Ida, you mean the leaders of the class, they kind of break everyone else up, and they put Ochako, Tsu, and Deku in a group. Todoroki and Tokiyama are in a group, and then Momo and Ida are together. And it's super funny, and one of my favorite things about Deku is like when he's doing his like analysis and stuff, which is something like I used to do when I wrestled and stuff. I would calculate like everything that each person could do and stuff. So I actually really like this about Deku, and he's kind of going through, calculating everything out, and then Ochako is like, hey, Deku, and then you look and everyone else is gone. He's like, oh, what the hell? So everyone kind of goes in their groups. They go down into the mall, and all of a sudden there's an earthquake, and we kind of knew something was going to happen, like it had to, or else it'd be too easy. And also, how much money was spent on this exercise, I don't know. It's something I always think when I'm watching My Hero Academia stuff. But yeah, in this, like, basically every small group that is broken up they all get messed up. In particular, Ida basically gets like taken out of commission, and Deku, Tsu, and Ochako, they hear Momo basically asking for help, saying that Ida's hurt. So The Deku group, they're kind of going off and they're trying to protect, or basically get to Ida to try to save him and stuff. Then you have the Todoroki and Tokuyama duo, and Todoroki kind of like helped Tokuyama, but because all this stuff like kind of collapsed and there's like all these problems, Todoroki can't really use his flames that much to kind of like limit Dark Shadow's power. So this is something is going to come into play later on. So you're like, okay, I hope something else bad doesn't happen, because if it does, Dark Shadow is going to go beast mode because it's all dark now. And then Bakugo, Kirishima, and Kaminari, they kind of are in their own area, and of course Kirishima kind of like used himself as like a wall to save them, and Bakugo was kind of like breaking up stuff to make sure it didn't like big pieces didn't fall on them and whatnot. So Bakugo, and he is super underrated as like on how smart he is. So he's trying to find he's like, hey, which is the place that has the most stable, like, basically infrastructure in this building, because that's where all the electrical stuff is. And he's basically like, because Kaminari is kind of like hating on himself. He's like, oh, I haven't done anything. And Bakugo's like, hey, idiot, like, we're gonna need you for this next part. So they end up finding where the generator electrical area is, and Bakugo is gonna have Kaminari like charge this up. And Kaminari's gonna go full like Super Saiyan level, and Bakugo like hits him and is like, dude, just charge it. We don't need you to explode it on full turbo. And while this is going on, there's like another aftershock. And this is like, as soon as this aftershock happens, I'm like, uh-oh, like, freaking Dark Shadow's about to go ham, which he does. And it creates all these issues for like Todoroki gets like hurt and stuff, but because of the charging of the electrical equipment, the lights finally go on, and that's able to kind of limit Dark Shadow, his power and everything. So Bakugo really saves the day in that sense. And in his group, they keep going to try to find the dummy. Now, as this is going on, Deku's team finally finds Ida, and they're basically trying to find a route out to save him, because he's actually hurt. And they show what happened to him, and like, as soon as I saw it, I'm like, oh, like he freaking like broke his ankle, it looks like, or leg bone or something. And then he also like hits his head on the wall. I'm like, dude, like, looks like his head broke his fall. Like he's screwed. He's basically knocked out at this point. So they end up finding there's a light, and they're like, okay, there's an elevator shaft here. We're gonna like try to get over here and save Ida. And as that's going on, Bakugo and his crew, they do find the dummy. Now, there's kind of an issue because the dummy's like stuck in all this debris, and in order to get him out, basically all this debris is going to cave in on them, and stuff's not very like stable at the point, and like water's starting to leak and stuff too, so not good. And basically Bakugo has this plan where he's gonna like go like do a concentrated like attack where he's gonna like basically explode stuff. We're gonna use Kaminari's electricity too, and Kirishima's gonna go in there and save the dummy. Now, they kind of do all that. Now, when they do this, Todoroki kind of realizes, he hears all these explosions and stuff. He's like, dude, Bakugo, he realizes because the generator came on, he's like, Bakugo's still trying to do the assignment. Everyone else had bailed on the assignment, and they're just trying to survive. So Todoroki realizes, like, oh crap, I'm going to have to save these guys possibly. So he goes over, finds that they basically have saved the dummy, which when Kirishima's like pulling the dummy out, he's basically doing like all these rolls there's no way if someone was injured would have survived everything when Kirishima was taking him out. Like, guy would have died for sure, but whatever. They got the dummy out. They're getting basically flooded, and Todoroki goes and freezes a bunch of stuff to stop the water from flooding more. So he kind of comes in and saves the day. In the meantime, Deku's group, along with Momo and Ida, they found that there is a light at the end of the tunnel, and Deku's going to go back, and he kind of has a plan of what he thinks. He feels that it's cold and stuff. He's like, oh, okay. Like, I think that Todoroki's freezing stuff. Bakugo's going to try to do like a water spout thing. But Bakugo's explosion isn't going to be strong enough and precise enough to be able to like do a water spout like his full Kallen can do. So he goes over there. Bakugo, of course, is like kind of pissed that Todoroki like saved him, which is funny because the rest of his group is like, dude, like, can you be not a dick right now? So he's kind of pissed about it, but Deku comes, eventually convinces them that they need to do like his way, and then Bakugo is going to need to explode the ceiling as they're going up. So they do this plan. Ends up that they don't make it all the way. They do make it up like 3 floors, which I thought this plan sounded horrible in my opinion, but somehow it made it part of the way. Bakugo's legs like broken, and in the meantime, a lot of the rest of the group has made it. Like Tokayama, I believe, Kirishima, Kaminari, they've like made it to where the elevator shaft is, and Momo's making a rope ladder and everything. So she's they're kind of doing this. At one point, Sue, who's Froppy's one of my favorite characters in the show, she saves the day with her tongue game. Saves, I think it's Kirishima, if I remember correctly, but saves him from like falling off the rope ladder and stuff. And then basically Deku and Deku's trying to get he's trying to get Bakugo to like, hey, like, let me help you walk. And Bakugo's so stubborn. And again, this is before Bakugo's really started to grow. He's always growing throughout the show, but I feel like how he changed in season 4 when he has to go through the extra provisional thing and has confronted Deku on everything with All Might. He does really, he starts to grow a lot as a character, and really mature a lot. So he's like kind of fighting back and forth with Deku, and then he's like, I'll use you as my crutch. Like, you're my crutch. And then Deku's like, oh, like all excited. And he's like, crutches don't talk. And I freaking love that whole exchange. And everyone ends up getting out and everything. So overall, like, what did I think about this 2-part OVA? So first of all, I'm just pumped that more My Hero Academia stuff is coming out before season 5. Now, and I think the show as a whole, I don't think I like their longer arcs personally, and they do a great job in developing like characters and having them go through ups and downs in these longer arcs, and I think that's where the show shines. When they do shorter arcs, I feel like it's not as good, but I think it's because I'm comparing to like such amazing long like arcs in the show and character arcs. So that's part of it. Another part, it was hard to like go back for me with how much they've developed and grown as a class and individually. So that kind of like makes it a little weird, but animation was good, voice acting amazing as always. Like, if you compare it to other like episodes or other arcs, you can't really compare it in my opinion, but it was still decent. I wasn't the biggest fan of it, but I'm happy to have it. I'm not going to complain, and I'm just happy to see these characters in some more situations. So it was kind of cool. I was hoping that there was going to be a villain or something, but I understand why there wasn't one, because if there was a villain, probably would have been in something in the actual show. So it was all right. Now, for what most of the rumors that I've been seeing from leaks, it looks like season 5 is going to come out in spring of 2021. Now, I don't know if that's including what's been going on in the quarantine with all this, stuff going on in society right now, but it does look, I can see that happening. Now, there's a few other things. I could see him push it back to the summer, but I don't see it going any further than the fall, personally. But I think it's going to be spring, or at least maybe they'll do something like ReZero's doing, where they have one arc they have one arc going on right now, and I believe they have another arc coming out in the fall. So 12 episodes and 12 episodes. So there's a season in between. That's something I can maybe see because of the pandemic going on right now. So, and I'd be cool with that. There was this anime expo recently, actually today, and the people behind, two of the people behind My Hero Academia were talking about how much they do like 25 episode seasons. So I feel like this new season for sure is going to be 25 episodes based on what I was reading from that expo. So, and some people are going to be a little bit, I can see why some people will be worried about it still coming out as early as spring, maybe. Because you want a really good product to come out, and I would have been worried too until I saw the most recent episode of ReZero, and I'm not gonna get into what happened, but they've been working from home from this episode on to the rest of this season, and the animation still looked great, which gives me a lot of hope for other anime. A lot of stuff's already been delayed, but if stuff's been working from home, I've seen that ReZero can do it at a high level. So I would like to think that Bones could also do. They've done a ton of amazing shows. I think they would be able to do this as well. But yeah, guys, I'd love to know what you guys think about My Hero Academia as a whole. Did you like this OVA? How'd you feel about it? And are you guys pumped for season 5? And did you guys think this OVA went plus ultra? Hey guys, thanks so much for watching my video. Don't forget to like the video and subscribe to my page. And then check out these 2 other videos that are right here.